Hey you guys, it's Watcher Ralph, and I'm here to do a spoiler-free review on The Post. Now, I decided to do The Post because we're nearing the Academy Awards, and I wanted to focus on as many Oscar contenders as possible for you guys. So, why did I choose The Post? Because of Steven Spielberg. So, I had ulterior motives as well, because he's also dropping Ready Player One, which is a movie that looks phenomenal. And he's done this more than once when it comes to backing up a big picture with an artsy picture. Which, if you guys have ever watched a movie directed by Kevin Smith called Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, you'll notice a scene with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon where they play themselves, and Ben Affleck tells Matt Damon, you have to do the safe picture, then you could do the artsy picture. And it looks like Steven Spielberg is always taking that lesson to heart. Because if you look at his track record, when it comes to him dropping Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year, as well as The Lost World Jurassic Park and Amistad, Catch Me If You Can, and Minority Report, Munich, and The World of Worlds. And not too long ago, he dropped The Adventures of Tintin and Warhorse in the same year. So this kind of follows that trend. So I wanted to focus on that because I had some high hopes, especially with a tremendous cast like Tom Hanks, which of course they've had several collaborations, and this movie tends to follow that same tone that Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg like to have together, which is kind of light, like Catch Me If You Can and The Terminal. Then of course you have one of the greatest actresses of our time, Meryl Streep. Plus you have Bradley Winford, Bruce Greenwood, Bob Odenkirk, and David Cross. Now, of course, when you hear those two names, I would hope you guys think of the incredible show on HBO that was called Mr. Show with Bob and David, and their more recent version of it on Netflix that was called With Bob and David. So when it came to this movie, especially the fact that they were bringing this light tone, I was almost expecting them to jump into a sketch. But I'm glad it didn't, because at the end of the day, they've proved themselves to be serious actors. And in most cases, the funniest actors are the best at drama. So I could only imagine how they felt to be on set in a Steven Spielberg movie. And they've earned this. And this movie also had incredible cameos, like out of the blue, Sarah Paulson's in this movie. Her name is Sarah Paulson. Her name is Sarah Paulson. Now, I hope you guys realize the reference. I give you mad respect if you do, especially that I gave you a visual cue to figure it out. So, she played a pivotal role though. It was pretty cool to see her in it. And then even someone like Alison Brie comes out of nowhere and does a little cameo, which I was definitely happy to see. All these women playing strong roles. And then it also dealt with Nixon trying to muzzle the newspapers and the media in general, which of course is a parallel to what we're dealing with now. And then it's dealing with a female character that is trying to get equality in the workforce, or even more importantly, just trying to get respect while dealing with all the misogyny. So at the end of the day, this movie tries to show these two parallels that are very important with our times. And it shows, unfortunately, how little we've come so far within such a long time. So it was cool the fact that it dealt with these issues. But that's the problem with this movie. And since it dealt with it in such a light tone, that tone was its biggest strength and its biggest weakness. Because the fact of it keeping it so light, it only touched the surface. It never really got gritty and deep within the subject matter. All I could think of were its ambitions, but also its limitations. And because of that very reason, I could have understood this movie being nominated for almost every category. But it's also the type of movie that I don't expect it to win in any category. And because of that, I have to give the movie Stupid? Because it's good. But like I said, I wondered if it could have been much better. So, I hope you guys leave your comments down below. Tell me who you think is going to win during the Oscars. But for now, share, like, and subscribe. And you can check out my other reviews right over here. And you can check out how this entire crazy rating system works. You can figure out the stupidness by clicking right over here. So, till we meet again, goodbye.
See you guys.